Hi everybody, it's Andrew Mitchem here, the Forex Trading Coach, and today I'm joined by Paul Tillman, who's been a client of mine at the Forex Trading Coach for the last 2 years. Welcome along, Paul. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks, Andrew, for having me.
No, it's great to have you here. Paul, just wondering if you could just start by giving everybody an introduction of who you are, where you live, what you do.
Sure. My name is Paul Tillman. I've got a lovely wife and 2 kids, 3.5, going on 4, and a newborn who's about 2 months now. And I work for a pharmaceutical company. I'm a statistician, so the numbers with trading and stats is all good, and I love doing that.
Excellent, thank you. And so, Paul, just let everybody know, if you could please, when you first looked into Forex, how did you find out about Forex? Did you have any prior background in anything to do with the industry? Like, what was your beginning within the Forex market?
I was introduced to it. It was probably about 11, 12 years ago. There's a kind of a group of guys in my church who knew about it and introduced me to it. And it's kind of an unfortunate situation a little bit. There was a little bit of learning about trading and the market, but the main focus of it was a multi-level marketing network part of it, which was unfortunate. And, so didn't know too much about trading, got a little bit tidbits here and there, but it fell apart in about a year, and I was left with spending a few $1,000s and knowing maybe 10 or 15% of what I needed to know.
Okay, that's an unfortunate start. But did you then obviously decide to stay with Forex? There must have been a reason why you thought that this was something to pursue maybe further.
Yeah, I was happy to get away from the networking, trying to convince people to join the course. There wasn't really much of a focus on the trading aspect, which I really wanted to learn.
Right.
And so the course that we were given, it had some good things, but there was no one really to teach it. There was no one really that followed up with you or, coached you. So it was a lot of kind of trying to figure it out on my own and, throwing up strategy after strategy and thinking, oh, this can work and that can work. And
yes,
go, risk whatever part of my account, I feel like during that trade. And so it was just, I kept going with it, but it kept getting frustrating kind of year after year.
Okay. So that went on for quite a while then.
Yeah, it was probably off and on for probably the next 7 or 8 years. I would kind of get into it and then get away from it. And, I had my main job and other things going on, but the passion remained there.
Yes.
And I really wanted to figure it out. And I kept being a break-even trader. Some wins, some losses, but overall not profitable on the long term.
So what happened then? You would have got to a point where you probably got frustrated, I'm guessing, and you'd put so much time into it you didn't want to give up, would be another guess. So what happened then? Something triggered in your mind, or you saw something to make you look elsewhere for help?
Absolutely. So it was, a little bit around the beginning of 2015 when I was like, okay, either I need to figure out something that's going to make me profitable, or I need to lay this aside and maybe focus on something else. Right. And, I picked up a few things I was trying to learn, with strategies, and I knew kind of price action was kind of the way I think I wanted to go, as that was kind of where my brain was leaning towards. There's some things here. And just kind of introing how I found you. I actually just did a simple YouTube search for price action and Forex, and your set of videos is one of the first ones that actually came up.
Okay. So you found this person almost on the other side of the world to you. I'm in New Zealand. You're, hours and hours away on an airplane in America. Did that put you off at all? Was there any, you're thinking, I'm in America, he's in New Zealand. Was that an issue?
Well, from previous experience, I was truly, a little bit scarred from the first experience. I thought, I knew the number that's thrown out, 95% of traders fail. I knew, that was kind of the going number, and there's all these signal services there, and robots and people, and just all that. And so I was a little hesitant, but I liked the style you were teaching, and you came off very, very knowledgeable and just kind of like I could already trust you. The New Zealand thing, it wasn't a huge deal. I mean, obviously I would have preferred somebody in the US or Canada or, somewhere on the same time frame.
Yes.
But, I decided, wow, this guy's from another part of the world. Looks like he's got things figured out. I researched you to death with just reviews, and I read everything I could because I didn't want to make another bad decision where I was just throwing money away.
Absolutely.
And not investing as a Forex trader.
Okay, no, cool. Thank you. So you decided to give it a go. You jumped on board with me. So as we said, that was around 2 years ago. So you jumped on board, got onto the membership site. How did it go from there? Like, what was your first experience of when you started?
Well, the very first thing I did was, and this was just a testament to kind of the trustworthiness and me thinking, this could actually work, and I've mentioned before, when you emailed me back when you were on holiday, that spoke volumes to me, just that little one thing. Mm-hmm. And so I decided, I liked the webinar that you had and the way you introduced and presented the information. I said, oh, wow, I know this, and this, but there's some things here that would really fill the gaps of my trading. And so, I emailed you a couple of times, read some more reviews, and then decided to go ahead and sign up.
Right.
And, kind of from day one, things, of course, you're always nervous spending, a little bit of money, to try to better yourself, financially and have this new great thing that you want to invest in. But the setup of the software, it was kind of, your hand was being held to start out. I had not been on MT4 before. Okay. I had been, I've been on different platforms and things, and the course it really laid out step by step. If you knew basically next to nothing about trading, I didn't know a decent amount, so that put me ahead of the curve.
Yes.
But all the videos in the course and the text and everything was just clearly explained, so it was easy to learn. Yes. And if I did have trouble on something, someone on your support team or yourself was there to answer an email, within a day at most.
Yes.
And that was just great as I was going through the course.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. So you got into the course, you did a bit of, you went through the course, you got the strategy. How long would you say before you started to place your first trades? And was that on a demo, or did you jump straight into a live account?
So I was a little stubborn and went ahead with a live account.
Right.
I started with the daily trades, which is one of the first things to mention, that you get these daily trades every single day. You get your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit, and you can make money and learn as you're learning the bigger course, which I really like. So almost immediately I was putting daily trades in and picking up on the reasons, hey, this is what you're looking at. This is really the strategy. And so, from there it was pretty quickly, and I got used to the other chart times, which was great. I had never heard of, hey, you can make a 6, 8 or 12-hour chart.
Yes.
And that was amazing to me. I had so many more opportunities.
Right.
So I, did that with the indicator and converter, and was kind of just on my way saying, all right, let me go look for trades and get on this thing.
Yeah, great. So that leads on to an interesting question then. Apart from results, which we'll talk about shortly, a lot of people jump into trading and they believe they should be taking trades all the time, or a course sets out to say you've got to sit and watch 5-minute charts or 1-minute charts even. How have you found the live trading on an ongoing basis now, we're 2 years later, with fitting it in, living in a different time zone to me, with your current work, you've got 2 young kids. How does all that fit in together, and is it practical?
Well, it is definitely practical. It's all about just being on a schedule.
Yes.
And luckily the New York close is for daily time frames is the time zone I'm in, which is great. And I don't have to get up at 2, 3 in the morning to trade.
Yes.
What's taught is more of the longer time frames. So, some 1 hour, but 4 hour and above generally. And so you only have to go check your charts once every 4 hours or once every 8 hours, or if you want, just once a day. If you've got a busy week, you can spend 15, 20 minutes a day and check multiple time frames and be just about as profitable as you want to be. And you're not in front of the charts for hours on a 5-minute chart or 15-minute chart. And when you have work and, as you mentioned, kids and a family, you don't want to do that.
No.
And so that was one of the things that really attracted me. If you're on a 4-hour chart, you don't have to go check every, hour and a half.
Yes.
You just check it once every 4 hours or 6 hours. And you know what? If you're asleep and you miss it. There are a lot of times.
That's right.
A lot of opportunities, especially with the added time frame charts, that you can find trades, and you might only be on 4 or 5 hours in a week total.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I've noticed when I've looked through your trading results is because you do favor those longer time frame charts, the 4, 6, 8, 12 hours daily charts, the reward to risk that you're achieving is so much greater than people who trade shorter time frame charts and they're almost scalping and getting less than 1-to-1 trades. You're getting 2, 3, 4-to-1 reward to risk trades. So you're getting high returns when you hit profit. You've got a controlled risk, and you're not spending much time doing it.
Absolutely, and those are probably some of the very key things that I was never really taught or didn't really run into too much.
Yes.
I mean, people don't realize, if you're getting 2, 2.5, 3, 4-to-1 trades, if you become a 50% success trader, you can make as much money as you want.
Yes.
Because that risk reward is there. I mean, you don't have to have too many successful trades. You can fail more than you succeed on trades and still make a lot of money, and that blows people's minds. But that's great. And if you get more succeeding trades than failing trades, then the sky is just the limit. And it's great. And the risk management is always key. Risking that same small percentage every trade, and that's probably one of the number one fails.
Yes.
Of why people can't succeed and they quit early or whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. So leading on to results then, Paul. So what are you, do you have a figure of what you're averaging per month or per year since you've been with me?
Well, my goal has been average around 3 or 4%, 3 to 5% a month.
Yes.
And I've always said that, I can make, 1% a week on average. And that sounds crazy because if you don't compound that, that's 50% a year, which is a mind-boggling number. I mean, I think people would kill to get just 15 to 20%. And you can easily do that on just one time frame alone. You can spend that 15, 20 minutes we were talking about on the daily trades and make 20, 25%. And you're spending an hour to 2 hours a week at your charts only. So that's kind of on a weekly and monthly basis what I've been going for. And I've been able to achieve that and more. And it's really exciting.
Yeah, excellent. Well, that's fantastic news. So thank you for sharing that. And just to let everybody else know that Paul, because of his results, we've decided to start to work together, and Paul's came on board with the Forex Trading Coach. And Paul, just share where we're up to now, if you could, please.
Oh, sure. So at the end of last year, I contacted Andrew and I said, things are going well. I'm having some, profitable weeks and months and things are going great. But you know what? I would like to do more, and to be honest, I'm not trading a several $100,000 account. And so it's not something I can totally, live on yet. It can't be a full-time job placement, although I like that to be one day. So we ended up working together, and earlier this month, I officially joined, and it started out with me wanting to run the forums. We've had some forum site launched. It was in the last summer, where people can go and ask questions and post trades, and it helped my trading. It was already going fairly well, but it helped my trading immediately with the forums, seeing what other people are saying, when you're posting trades, it's just you're more sharp, and you're just looking at different things. And there are hundreds of people on the forum, and so I was able to help. Ask Andrew, hey, I'd love to help moderate these and send a lot of screenshots and answer a bunch of questions. So it started out like that. Yes. And then, I was hoping to do just a little bit more. And so now we have US webinars that I ran my first one last week, the beginning of March. Yes. And they're going to be going on every 2 weeks in the US session. And coupled with Andrew's, there'll be a webinar session every week for clients that if you can't attend live, that you can view the recording of. And I just think that's great. And just being able to answer questions, be support, and working with Andrew, it's been a great thing, and there are wonderful things to come.
Wonderful. Well, Paul, thank you very much for sharing your story so far, your journey as a Forex trader. I'm absolutely thrilled that after 2 years, you've gone from at a stage where trading was just a hope and a dream, I suppose, after many years of frustration, through to making, like you said, 5% or more per month consistently with very low risk. And now it's great to have you on board. And the forum site, just want to let people know that a lot of forums, when you think of forums in the Forex world, they all end up with people arguing and, someone dominating and other people feeling like they can't contribute. Because our forum site is for clients only. Everybody understands the strategy. Everybody understands the course. And so when we're posting trades there, these are trades that everybody can see, can understand, can take, and can learn from. Now, some of the trades are posted in advance of the trade actually being posted or being placed, and others are, with the benefit of hindsight, because you can't post every single one in real time. Mm-hmm. And then with the webinars, because they are live webinars, myself and Paul, we're placing trades in real time in front of hundreds of people. And that's a great way for people to learn, because you're hearing someone talk about the market right now in real time without any benefit of hindsight. You see us placing a trade with real money, live accounts. And so, Paul, by having the ability to help out people in your time zone around the world, or later in the afternoon if you're in Europe, plus people who can trade the morning session and the European session with my webinars, as you said, we now have every single week someone can jump on to a live 2-hour trading room session. It just helps to speed up that learning process for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. It can be a daunting task getting into Forex, and just having extra sessions and forums where you don't, like you said, you don't feel pressure or feel like you have to post winning trades or you should be at some certain level. It covers a wide range of somebody just coming in and somebody who is more experienced but is having trouble, and it just helps everybody all around. And I think it helps you and I as well, just as traders and communicators, and teaching and helping other people.
Absolutely. So, Paul, thank you for your time today. Great to have a chat with you. And if anybody watching this would like to get in contact, my email address is andrew@theforextradingcoach.com, and you can contact Paul directly at paul@theforextradingcoach.com. Thank you very much, Paul. Have a great evening your side, and I'll enjoy the rest of the day my side.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. Take care.
Good talking to you.